You have a collect call from. Press 1 to accept charges. Hey guys, you are tuned in to Press 1 Podcast, and I'm your host, the Queen Carter. And today episode is going to be based around moms that have been incarcerated. And today I have a special guest by the name of Famous. I've been knowing Famous for over a decade. He's a growing engineer from the West Bank. And back in the day, I used to manage and film a lot, and that's how we met, and we've been friends ever since.
Yes, and thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, and we've been great growing friends, very educated woman, and I appreciate her being around.
To say that. Very educated, talented brother. You know that?
Of course. You don't have to say it. We know.
We know. All right, so let's start by saying, have you ever been to jail?
No, I haven't been to jail. I guess I was good at what I did.
Yeah. So you're saying that you ain't a saint, but you never been to jail?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So let us know a little bit more about you.
I grew up on the West Bank all of my life. My family from the 17th.
Okay.
Everybody but the kids. We all moved to the West Bank, and I spent most of my time there. Then at a certain age, I ended up going to boot camp. So I guess that would be incarceration. Right?
Oh, yeah, for children.
Yeah.
How old were you when you went to boot camp?
16.
Oh.
Yeah.
What led to that?
Really, I can't tell you. I want to say my mom and grandmother got scared. All of my friends went to jail at one time during this time, and they felt like I wasn't paying attention at school, which it was here and there. Mm-hmm. But so I just grew up with my family being hard on me. Didn't really have a father figure there, so it was just a bunch of and I could agree that I didn't follow the rules like the other two brothers.
Okay.
You know,
so how many siblings do you have?
I have two that I grew up with, right? But altogether, it is 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 4 on my daddy's side, which it's 3 his and 1 he just took care of, and then it's the 2 on my mother's side.
Okay.
That I know of. So any other family member out there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, reach out this way.
Right.
So how do you feel like boot camp helped you, or how did it affect you? And how long were you there?
I was in boot camp for 6 months, but then I ended up going to military job corps, which is right next door to it in Baton Rouge. It's the Youth Challenge program. I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard of it. I want to say it took a major toll in my life, like extremely major toll. I want to say that my English became more clear. I was more educated and disciplined, because a lot of stuff would change. A lot of people don't like it because you got to go through something that you don't want to go through, right? But it's probably best for you. So going through it, I understood that, hey, maybe this is not the best thing that I want to do, but it's probably the best thing that I need to do, right?
Yeah.
So after going through it, I came back a different person. My family loved it because I didn't choose to go to the Army or Air Force like my 2 siblings that I grew up with. So they was like, well, at least you got the discipline in the trade. So I came out with the discipline in the trade and my GED. So after that, I ended up going back probably like a month or 2 later to the military job corps.
Okay. So with the boot camp, what did it teach you, like structure and discipline? Like, did you had to get up and make your bed and like the things that people see in movies or think that boot camp is? Was it like that?
I would say it was 10 times worse.
Okay.
Well, what you see on movies is more like a entertainment point of view.
Okay.
Right? Because you never get in a movie other people's attitude, right? You know, in other people's city and way that their demeanor is, right? Because we did a lot of fighting in there, like, because nobody wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And then also this was for people who been to jail, right? And I haven't been to jail, so it's like I'm around a bunch of animals, not to discredit human race, but this is how they acted, you know? And I had to fight. I had to fight against people in there. I had to, get along with people I didn't want to get along with. And I mean, we got in trouble for bullshit. We just really had to survive in there.
Yeah.
Granted, we learned a lot. Mm-hmm. We learned discipline. We was also in school. People don't understand, but boot camp is not straight military all the time. It's, you do got to go to school, right? And then after that, you go do PT. You go do, you get a little downtime, but it's not much. But it's discipline. It's all about getting yourself in order. And granted, by it being that it was 16 and I'm much older now, it still play effect.
Yeah.
So I regretted it when I did it from the beginning. Like I want to say the first 2 months, but after I got out, I was happy I went.
Yeah.
It showed me a lot. It showed me how to be a man.
Well, that's good. You got something positive out of it. So how was your childhood growing up?
Growing up was, I guess for my time of age, it was everything. I'm an 80s baby, so you had like the early crack. You had the early crack epidemic going on during that time. So it's like if your immediate family wasn't on it, somebody that was, or it was around you, that's like, it was inevitable, right? Because it was a flood.
Yeah.
It was a flood. So it's almost like COVID. You might not have got it, but somebody around you that did, right? Mm-hmm. So my family was affected by it, so it happened. My mother was on it. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know the story of how she got there, but she got there, right? Mm-hmm. But prior to that, my mom still is a very extremely smart person. Like she was in school to be a nurse, a registered nurse. She was almost done, right? And I guess she was under pressure, life pressure, and she got caught up. Mm-hmm. Don't make or break who she is today, but during that time, it really affected us growing up, extremely.
Okay.
Because I want to say like the first time understanding that she was on drugs would come from family like, oh, your mom. And it's like, hey, yo, chill out. That's my mom.
Yeah.
And then you get a bunch of side eye from the family. And by me and my brothers having 3 different dads, it was really like separated, right? So everybody in the family knew my dad, but they didn't know my 2 brothers' dad. So they judged me personally off of my dad. You know what I'm saying? So it was growing up tough. I didn't grow up with my mom's side of the family, nor my dad's side of the family. I grew up with my grandma's side of the family. Mm-hmm. So, that's not even like immediate family. That's third cousins and stuff, So you can imagine I never really had that close love with family. Mm-hmm. So it was always like, hi, how y'all doing? And then inch my way around at that point, right? So with that being said, it's like growing up was extremely tough. They judged us off of my mom, and then they judged me off my daughter, my dad. So it just was extremely crazy, And then once I start going to school, you hear the neighborhood talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. Like your friends, who would be your friends, talk about it like your mom does drugs, as a joke.
Yeah.
But nothing funny when reality really hits, Mm-hmm. So I couldn't laugh.
Yeah.
I couldn't laugh. I had to take that, right? Mm-hmm. But who am I to try to challenge my mom at a young age?
Yeah.
Right? Because she tried, right? Mm-hmm. She tried her best, right? Fighting against her addiction, she tried her best. I give her that.
How young were you when you noticed that she had a problem?
I think denial or trying to understand as a kid didn't come about probably to like 9.
Okay.
When I could really understand, right? Because when you see something you don't know, because you don't know what it is in the first place. Like somebody like, oh, your parent addicted to something. And it's like, I don't even know what addiction is.
Yeah.
Right? Or have a full understanding of what it is. But
Did you
once
ever get like confirmation of when she started, or do you still just now it's just like you think?
even to
around that
this
time?
day, I
Yeah.
never asked. I
Okay.
never digged up anything. Because it was a point where she got cleaned, and then it was like I just accepted her
Yeah.
like that.
You
You
didn't want
know?
to talk about it. Bring it
Yeah.
up.
And I went through a lot. You know, I went through a lot as far as school and everything. It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. So understanding like when she was on it, I want to say 9 years old, 10 years old, around Christmas time. I go into the bedroom, her bedroom, and I look for our gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
True story. I look for our gifts and I go under the bed thinking that it's under the bed, right? And then I find a bent up Coke can with holes in it, you know, and burn marks on it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand what it was. So I brought it to my grandmother, and my grandmother slapped it on my hand, was like, get rid of that,
Yeah.
right? Still at that time, I didn't understand what it was, but I knew it was something bad,
Something bad. Yeah.
right? And then we'll go to the kitchen. We'll see like burnt smooth spoons in the dishes. So my grandma like, get rid of that. Don't eat off of that. We'll see burnt spoons in the sink, and then we'll be like, you know, hey, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandmother be like, hey, throw that away. So there was a time that my grandmother stepped into place. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she took over. She took over and stepped in the house, right? Because we had nights where my mom would leave us by herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it was like, hey, we need somebody here, right? We ain't had no phone to call anybody at the time. So my grandmother just popped up one night and was like, I'm stepping in. I'm taking over this house, right? Because it was her house in the first place, right? So she was like, but it was the house that my mama grew up in, so she gave it to her for us.
Okay.
And then once, which my grandmother didn't stay that far away from us, she still have a house that's around the corner from that original house. Yeah, so them things happening, my grandma taking over, and then after that, it was like a up and down hill with my mom. You know, she'll get arrested like in front of my face. You know, so it's
When
like,
the first time that happened?
The very first time I remember, it must have happened when I was in the 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting off the bus, and which in my neighborhood, this is like some common stuff. Like people are waiting at the bus stop, like, but it don't be parents; it be other kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why y'all ain't go to school?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it was some guys that was a little older than me, and they was like, "Neil, the police is at your house." It's like, okay, you know, because at this time I'm kind of numb to it.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, hey, police at your house. So, all right, cool. But I got to walk all the way down the street to get to my house. Right? So I'm walking slow because I see the police out there, but I'm like, something happened. Right? Get there, and I see my mom in the back of the police car crying. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And my mom and grandmother got into a fight. Right? So much that they had to call the police, and she ended up going to jail. That was like real tough to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your parent getting locked up by your grandparent.
Exactly.
You know? And I think over time this happened so much that I just got numb to it. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to jail. Should be out tomorrow.
So how was the process for you, like mentally being a kid and coming home, she's leaving, then it's like you didn't know when she was coming back. How long did it take her to come back?
Honestly, I can't tell you. I can't answer that because I truly could tell you that I became numb. Like, it just wasn't a thing for me. It wasn't something I was attached to.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, oh, she's gone. She'll be back in like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Right? Because she wasn't there all the time anyways.
Okay.
So it was like, oh, she was here. Oh, she's
yeah,
gone.
they got into it and
yeah,
now
she's
in trouble.
gone. Yeah. So it was like a common thing that just constantly happened, and it was like weird.
So at that age, did you like register how jail works? Like, okay,
Yeah.
she's going somewhere because she did something bad, and
Slightly and no. Right? Because back then, and I don't know if it still worked like that now, 'cause I keep myself far away from that type of system. Yeah. But by my mom being in trouble on both sides of the river, if anybody familiar with New Orleans, She would go to Gretna, but then later they'll put her in Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like, I didn't know that they transfer from one to another. I didn't know that. So seeing
They definitely
her,
don't do that no more.
yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So seeing that, I remember one time I had to go get her. Like, I had to go get her, and I don't know if that was a mental thing that my grandmother wanted to do for us to understand. But she was like, walk down now and get your mom, meet up with your mom, right? Because she couldn't park in front of the courthouse. Everybody know you can't park in front of the courthouse, right? So she couldn't park in front of the courthouse. So she parked so far down, and like, I was petrified to walk down this road. Like, who's not petrified to walk down 2-lane, right?
Yeah. Me.
In front of a courthouse, like, Jesus, at a young age, like, right, like 11, 12 years old. Like, this is, you know.
Yeah, New Orleans totally different.
Yeah,
than it is today.
But back then,
I know.
Yeah, think how that was back then, right? So walking down there to go meet up with my mom, and then walking back with her, in complete silence. Like, let's not talk about what happened, right?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't question my mom at that age. It's like, this is my mom.
Yeah.
Right? I love her, regardless of what she did. So what, she did it. It's my mom. I'm riding with her, you know? There was a time that I became like distance from her, right? And then it became a time where it was like, I don't care. I just don't care. You're going to leave anyways.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was like every teen rebellious time of their life, right? But mine was just excelled because...
Yeah, you were dealing with her not being there already and coming and going. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. And then, you know, you had my dad, which recently, I just apologized to my dad. Like, I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, it was last Christmas. I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. Just out of the blue, because he wanted to give me a gift, me and my daughter. And I said, Dad, I'm sorry. And he was like, for what, son? And I said, all my life I faulted you for leaving me and Mom, but I understand, like, you was dealing with somebody. That was you personally dealing with that, right? Not me and my mom. It was the mother. You was dealing with her personally and all her craziness. So me becoming a father and had to deal with something similar to what you had to deal with, I understand. And I'm sorry.
Did your dad ever apologize to you?
No, because my dad felt like he never did walk out. He felt like he always wanted to be there and he always wanted to help, which he did to a certain time of my life. Like, he just cold turkey. Like, I don't know what his reason was. I never asked it, never cared, right? It was like Black American shit, you know, Black American father shit.
Do you feel like you deserve an apology from him?
I'm up to the point where I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I feel like when you said sorry, he should have.
Nah, I was apologizing from a point of view of understanding that at that moment 2 years ago, the moment that I told him that I was going through something with the mother of my child. So I was like, yeah, I see your point of view. I see what you did. Because you could have put up with her, right, and lost your mind. Or you could just let her go.
Yeah.
Right? And keep your sanity so you could be around for when I get older. Which, you know, we developed relationship here now. He was always open to it, but I mean, I had so much resentment against him, so I never cared to build it.
Yeah.
Right? I remember going off on him one time, like, hey, you ain't even call me for my birthday. He said, nigga, you ain't call me for my birthday. Right? I mean, you gotta understand, being tough, fatherhood is just crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I'm like, you the father.
Exactly.
You're supposed to.
That's how I feel.
And he was like, you're the child. You can reach out.
Yeah.
And I was like, touche.
He's like, nigga, you grown now.
Yeah, you grown. Yeah, you're a grown man. Right? But I'm like, hey, you ain't teach me how to be a grown man.
Exactly.
Like, I went through so much. Like, you got to remember, back in them days, like, you didn't grow with your parents. Everything around you influenced you.
Yeah.
Right? You took what you wanted. Right? People that you've been around might influence you to do, or you might like what you see, and then you start doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So a parent not being present wasn't like major to our age group, because my whole neighborhood grew up with just their grandparent.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the whole neighborhood grew up with their grandparents. And I guarantee anybody in that neighborhood can tell you that. I think probably like 5, probably less than that, grew up with their real parents. And less than that.
Do you feel like they always hooked on drugs? All the real parents?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because up to this day.
I mean, it was a pandemic time, so I mean.
Yeah. Up to this day still, I don't know a lot of my friends' mother.
Yeah.
Like to this day, right? I seen their father. Mm-hmm. But a lot of them, I don't know who their mother is. Couldn't tell me if they're alive or dead.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like I said, we was living in a pandemic. My age group went through that, you know? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that made a lot of us strong. I mean, it's really strong, you know, because you had to adapt extremely fast, mm-hmm. right? And then you got everybody jumping off the porch. That's what we used to say.
Yeah. Jumping
off the porch early because of that, because of this pandemic, because of this fast lifestyle that you have to live to survive.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you see your friends rocking Rockaway and stuff like that, your parents don't have it, what you gonna do? You gonna hustle to go get it.
You'll find a way to go get it.
Right? So I had to find my way to get Rockaway. Get the Rockaway bell. I needed that.
What was your hustle?
We on camera, baby.
I mean, I wouldn't have worked at Jimmy John's. I was working at Jimmy John's when I was like 13, 14. So
truthfully, I picked up anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both sides. Now I never dealt with handling drugs. Mm-hmm. I've been around it a lot, but nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was around it a whole lot. Like to the way I'm seeing slabs.
Yeah.
But nah. Myself, nah.
Okay, well look, Neil ain't no drug dealer.
Nah. Neither a killer.
All right.
A common American black guy.
So how was your mom as a person, and how was like y'all relationship together?
My mom had 3 children. So it's my oldest brother, me, then my little brother. So trying to find balanced love amongst all 3, I don't know if she ever found that. Mm-hmm. Right? I think it was just like, I love my children as a whole, which most parents do, you know what I'm saying? And I think I am more connected to that relationship growing up than my brothers were, mm-hmm. right? Because my oldest brother is my grandmother's favorite. So she took him in, mm-hmm. like at a young age. And then I came along, and I was like the rebel middle child, right? Mm-hmm. But before being the middle child, I'm the youngest at this time, but my mom ran around a lot with me, right? Her and my dad.
Yeah.
And then my little brother came. When my little brother came, my Auntie Mildred took in my little brother, right? So then after a while, my grandmother took over and then put us all 3 together under one roof, right? So I was always searching for that love from my mom.
Yeah.
But her dealing with her self issues and being a person, like, you got to always remember these people are their own human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you're a parent, but you're your own human.
Yeah, you're
like,
dealing with your own.
You got your own issues to deal with, mm-hmm. you know? And understanding that now, I don't falter for nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Because life is pressure. It's worse now because everything going up.
Of course.
But, and everybody's still trying to find their way, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like she always tried. She always tried. I could never knock her for that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, she was fighting demons, right? Still mm-hmm. fighting them. Not in the drug sense, but with them habits that brung. Right?
Yeah, and part of the things she saw, things she's experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom, I love her. I love her to death, but my mom is, yeah, she's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's crazy as ever. But I love her to death. You know, we have our issues, still have them.
Yeah.
Right? But we worked through them. Right? There was a time where me and her was fussing. Like, we got into a real heated conversation, and the mother of my child jumped in. And my mom said, look here, don't you ever get in between me and my son's situation, because we might argue and fuss and cuss at each other today, but tomorrow we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because that's my son and I love him. Right? In the middle of me and her beef, and she tells the mother of my child this.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Cause that's true though.
Yeah.
Like she gonna be cool with you, but it's always gonna be smoke
Yeah,
with
it's
the
gonna
baby
be
mom.
smoke.
Like yeah, like
Like shut your mouth, chill out, you know, because that's my son,
exactly.
and I'm always love him, you know. So, yeah, that was some incidents. Me and my mom have billions of stories.
Yeah.
Right, billions. It's crazy because she probably tell you the same stories, like word for word. We have billions of stories, and like I said, I think I was more in a search, growing up, looking for that love.
Yeah.
Right, my little brother, he has this nonchalantness about him, right, because he was the spoiled one, so he's like, give a fuck about nothing, right. And my oldest brother, he was, sorry to say this, but he was scary, so it's like he always was sheltered under my grandmother.
Yeah, I would say your grandma kind of was probably a real mother figure for him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he probably didn't really feel affected. Like, oh, this is my mom.
Nah. I mean, he felt some stuff as far as the abuse, because we got whooped like people that she probably never even remembered.
Yeah.
Right. That's how she whooped us. Like, I don't know you, my child. Whooping us. Like, I don't know you, my child.
Yeah. Like somebody on the street.
Like somebody on the street.
Yeah.
Like she just forgets. Mid whooping, forgets who you are, just black out.
Yeah.
But like I think she was whooping us, and it was beyond what the reason was. Right? It's like kind of fighting somebody, and now that person getting their ass whooping that's not even belonging to them.
Like this was for my cousin.
Yeah, this is for last week's shit that I went through.
I ain't got no gas in my car.
Right. I can't pay my bills. Like, what? That ain't my ass whooping. This not even my ass whooping. What is you doing? So, yeah. So, you know, we dealt with that type of abuse, you know. Did it affect me? Yeah, because I could still talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, things that bothers you, you remember, and you can still talk about it. Things that doesn't, you forget about it.
You forget about it, yeah. That's true.
You know? So, yeah, we went through a lot. Yeah.
So, I remember like 2-3 years ago, you reached out to me, or I think we were just, I don't think I heard from you, or we were just talking, and you told me that you had an incident with your mother.
Right.
So do you care to touch on that a little bit?
Sure. You and I talked about a lot during that time. Like we'll be on for a while, and then you know, because you get busy, I get busy. Yeah,
if you know me for real, it's nothing personal.
Yeah, it's nothing personal, and I'm the same way. So it's like whenever I reached out to you, it's like, say, friend, beat this out. Somebody I need to express to.
Yeah.
Right, and I trust you, so it's like, let me call my dog. Let me see what she up to. Right, so there's this time, so me and the mother of my child broke up. So it had to been a little bit over 3 years, right? Probably like 4.5, 5.
Impossible. Your time just
it just slipped by so fast. There was this time where I moved back by my mom. Now, like I told you, we still trying to find out things amongst each other. So this is 5 years ago. Right, so just put that in mind. That's 5 years ago, so that means I'm older now.
Yeah.
Right. I live with my mom for the simple fact that she needs help at this time. Right, and then I end up splitting with the mother of my child. So now I'm in a bunch of debt with stuff that I had tied in with the apartment that I was at because I had to leave out of there.
Yeah,
and
the whole breakup process.
Yeah, you know how that go. So this was the first year of moving with my mom, and so I live in there, and things go on and on and on. My mom is a very controlling person, right? So I ignore it, you know, because I have 2 rooms in the house that I pay for. So it was like, I ignore it, chill off into my room.
Yeah.
Because at this time I'm stacking up, about to get ready to leave, right? So my mom went to go get her hair done. And her husband at this time, you know, he's dealing with an issue with his leg, right? So he could barely walk around. So I went in the kitchen, I cooked something, cleaned up, left out. Made sure everything was clean, so I don't hear nothing. So my mom left to get her hair done, came back, and when she came back, I don't know what she was going through mentally, right? But she comes back and start fussing at her husband. Yeah. So I hear it, and I'm like, oh, let me go up in there, because if she's talking about the kitchen, I was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on. So I go in the kitchen and she's yelling at him, sticking her hand in his face, cussing him out and stuff about dirtying up the kitchen. Right? Mm-hmm. So I said, Mom, what do you see that is dirty? The garbage disposal had rinse water inside of it. Not bottled up, not bagged up. Just the fact that it was wet.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really didn't know what the hell this lady was on.
I know another parent like that. They
Yeah.
want you to wipe the sink out.
I mean,
Yeah.
weird, right? So I was like, Mom, what do you see dirty? So she told me. She was like, it got water inside the garbage disposal. What? I said, lady, you tripping.
Yeah.
Go lay down. So I don't know if she was going through something, but she started cussing and then throwing stuff at me, right? Mm-hmm. So she threw this glass at me, right? And when the glass broke, I kid you not, you know how the movies where people be having flashbacks, mm-hmm. right? Like, this is what I was going through in real life time. Like, I had flashbacks of when I was a kid, right? Because my mom and grandmother would fight, and then they'll break the glass table that we had.
Yeah.
Right? You got to think, like, back in 98, 99, glass table was like the profound thing for mm-hmm. black people to have in their house. So it was cap. Like, yeah, no cap. So it was like every black person wanted a glass table in their house, mm-hmm. right? Because that was like the thing to have. Mm-hmm. Well, we went through like 9 of them.
No.
Like, really.
We ain't going to talk about that.
Yeah. We went through like 9 of them, mm-hmm. like no cap. So with that being said, when this glass broke, I instantly thought back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right? So the inner child.
Like PTSD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The inner child in me came out. Right? So I'm mad. So I'm about to snap. And so she grabbed a knife for me. And then it really brought back a lot of memories, right? So I said, oh, you grabbed a knife for me. I said, all right. So now I'm mad. Now, granted, don't judge me. But if I was able to get my gun at that time, that lady probably would have left.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is how angry I am. But the glass that broke actually stopped me from walking that way. That was God's move.
Yeah.
Right? So I couldn't walk that way because the floor is full of glass and I'm barefooted. Mm-hmm. So she grabbed a knife and swung it at me and cut my face. So when she cut my face, she didn't apologize or nothing. She just continued to. Yeah. So now I'm very mad. Her husband's cleaning up the glass. I walk over there. Now we're yelling. We get into a big argument, big argument. And I tell her, I've been waiting my whole life to whoop your ass. Right? But that wasn't me speaking. That was like my inner child, like mad with her.
Yeah.
Right? Because I went through so much with my mom. And it was like I was hurt. I was extremely hurt. Not by the cut. More so about this is where we at in our life. And like, we never grew out of this.
Yeah.
Right? And so it brought me back to that moment and it hurted me. And that's why I reached out to you to talk. Because I was really like in a limbo. Like I never seen my life flash back in the past like that. Like on some bad shit. You know, you flash and think about good shit like playing Nintendo or something like that. Mm-hmm. But not where you hear a glass break and then it breaks you back to a kid where you hated it. You know what I'm saying? Like you
then your mom hurt you. So it was like a kitchen knife, like a butcher knife.
It was a butcher knife. It was a kitchen knife. My mom has this swift chef way of grabbing a knife.
Okay.
Right? I don't think this lady even looked over there. She just it came back with the biggest one.
Yeah.
Right? And swung it at me. Mm. Good with her wrist.
Yeah.
She cut me. Right? She cut me straight across my face. Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
She cut me straight across my face. And
yeah, so it's been a while. I know you had texted me a picture, but like you can't see it at all now. So it was like a deep cut on your face. Mm-hmm. How far back did it go?
Like the Joker.
Yeah, I think I don't
like all the
you
way
can't
up.
see it at all now, but it was like
all the way up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So did you have to get stitches? I mean,
I didn't.
We can put it right.
I can put it up. I can. I can pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, so you had to go get stitches?
No, I didn't get any stitches. Luckily, I didn't have to. Mm-hmm. right? Plus, I didn't want to report nothing.
And was your child there?
No,
No,
she wasn't.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Yeah, because this was like during the week,
Yeah.
and
So what did the husband do? Like, I know you said he was cleaning up, but it wasn't like, it had to be like a lot of blood. Like, people had to feel like, you know.
yeah, but like I said before, I'm up to the point where I don't want to be nurtured on anything. So it's like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Because nigga, you could get it too. Mm-hmm. Right? I was snapping on him too. It's like everybody was into me at this point.
So are you just like angry, or
I was
are you like
angry.
holding your face?
I was so angry. I ain't even worry about the face. I was just angry. I want to whoop ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is my mom. I love her. It's a female. I never hit a female. Never did.
Yeah.
You know, no woman can ever come forward and say I ever did some stuff like that. But nah, it's just I want to whoop ass.
Yeah. So how did that de-escalate? Like, you
My
say y'all
grandmother.
still yelling at each other?
My grandmother. So my mom is a manipulator, right? Mom, you ever see this interview? Not to talk bad about you, but
Yeah. Not at all. We love you, Mom.
love you to death, baby.
Yeah.
But we fussing back and forth. So she called my grandmother and lied on me and said that I started messing the house, right? So I grabbed the phone and broke it, right? Broke the phone. So I said, "You're not about to fucking lie on me." I'm sorry, I could cuss on your podcast.
Of course. I'm fucking cussing.
So I did. Yeah, all you hear is beep, 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 beep on the thing, you know. She lied on me to my grandmother. So my grandmother ended up calling my phone, right? I didn't want to answer, but I ended up answering the phone. And when I answered, my grandma come across the phone and said, "Nell, this is the first time I ever heard a demon like that come out of you. Get out the house," right? She said, "Leave everything now and just get the fuck out the house," right? So when my grandmother cussed, I know it's something serious.
Yeah.
Right? Because she was hurt by it. But she understood, right? My grandmother understood. She's like,
She's like, that's not you, so remove yourself.
Remove yourself.
Yeah.
And she understood how I got there. She understood the anger.
Yeah.
Right? So she was like, leave. Leave everything up. Go back tomorrow and get it. But leave. Leave now. Your mama got white neighbors.
Yeah.
They call the police. You going to jail. Right? So I need you to leave right now. So I left, right? And I moved all my stuff out the next day. And then it took a little while for me and my mom to get back along.
Yeah.
Right? But like I told you before, don't come in between it because we'll be cool.
Yeah, that's your mom.
Yeah.
You love her to death.
Yeah. No matter what goes on. You know, we argue to this day, right? We argue to this day, but that's because I didn't grow up with her.
Yeah.
So going back to our house, I want to touch on that. Going to our house and living with her, and even the cut coming along, made me realize that I never grew up with this lady, so I don't know her.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know this lady. So that's why we couldn't get along, because I don't even know you really.
Yeah.
Right? You my mom.
You get to know her too as like
Yeah,
a
I'm
sober
getting to know
person.
her. Yeah. Because she's not on drugs, been off it for like almost 15 years or so. Right? Don't quote me on my math, y'all, but
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So I want to say at least about a good 15, right? Yeah. I want to say about 15, probably a little bit longer. But anyways, so she once she cleaned up, you know, I love her to death for being the strong woman who cleaned up. And she did it without going to rehab.
Yeah.
Willpower. Black women, willpower.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you see the change? Like when did it happen? Like were you coming out of high school?
It happened right before I went to boot camp.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
before you was a teenager.
No, I was a teenager. I went to boot camp at 16.
Yeah.
I want to say right before I went to boot camp, like months before I went to boot camp.
Okay. And whose decision was that? Was that your grandma or your mom's decision?
It was her decision.
Okay.
My mom dealt with a lot. Like I said, she had demons, right? Still fighting them to this day, right? So I can't say what brought her there to start doing it. And I can't say what brought her out, but she came out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Were you guys deep into like church or any type of religion?
Growing up, me and my brothers and my grandmother,
Yeah.
you know, we was deep in the religion. That's why I know about it, a lot about it today.
Yeah.
As I got older, of course, I stopped going. But yeah, we grew up in the church, actually. You know, we did Sunday school, right? I mean, we was very deep into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point.
Okay. So you found the picture of the cut on your face?
Yes. Let me see. Yeah, so that's it. You know, the same night.
Yeah.
I know I sent you the picture of it, the same night of it. I don't know if y'all could see that, but
Maybe not.
right. But that's the picture. Got slashed in the face, looking like the Joker.
How did it make you feel like looking at that?
I became so emotionally unattached to a lot of things. So it's like when stuff happens, it happens at that moment, and then I detach myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I go through that moment during that time, and then after that, I detach myself from it.
Yeah.
Try to forget the memories of it and everything.
Be happy we ain't got to call you the Joker, like
Right.
Right. Got the mark no more.
Right. Great. Thank God.
Yeah.
Right. Because dark skin was hard for dark skinned men to get women. Now it's like the best thing to the world.
Mm-hmm. They love some chocolate.
Oh, they love some chocolate.
Love a chocolate, brother.
Yeah. So I couldn't have another strike against me with a long ass scar across my face, right? Because they're gonna be like, "What bitch don't cut you?"
Yeah, you heal great. Like,
I appreciate that.
At all. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you have any like closing remarks? I had some statistics, but I didn't read them.
Go to your statistics. Let's see if I can
it's
touch
an
pointers on
estimate
it.
of 1.3 million people living in the U.S. has been separated from their mother before their 18th birthday due to their mother's imprisonment. Also, as of 2010.
Oh, jeez.
1.3 million.
Jeez. I don't know how controversial this would be if I say this, but it's crazy that statistic comes out, but yet the court system let every female win the case of father and mother battles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bow.
You know, they win child support, which is crazy to me because if you're asking for a child support and you're actually able to get it,
if it's 1.3 million mothers, how many fathers do you think on the jail?
I mean, it might be a statistics against that one too, right?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Right, but you got to remember, we had a whole system that was put in place way before we even got here.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the system was created before black men could even have freedom.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So, of course, we was prone to get arrested.
Yeah, it's designed for black men to go to jail.
Right.
It's a form of slavery still today.
Right. It's still because they need to fund their prisons.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't want to be the one to speak on like a repetitive subject where people knows this going on, right? Mm-hmm. But enlightenment at any time is always needed. Yeah. Like, hey, always be aware that you're not for the system at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This not designed for you. So, glad that we mentioned that because that being said, it's like black men and me being a black man growing up, dealing with stuff, issues like that, I didn't resort to finding my way into the system.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah. Right, especially having a parent that's incarcerated, like you get a bigger round of applause for that because
I appreciate that.
You know, a lot of people fall into the same habits as their parents. Like, oh, my daddy went to jail, my mom went to jail, so da da da. Right. So
as far as I know, though, I don't remember my dad ever going to jail.
Yeah. And that's a good thing also.
The little relationship that I kept with him and being able to see him randomly throughout the years, I never recall my dad ever being in jail. Yeah. Right?
That's a good
Somebody gave me a story about him. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was like he used to run around Marrero like a kingpin. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't know that story. Yeah. Don't tell me the story.
Well, he moved smoothly. He moved great.
Yeah, I remember one time. I remember one time seeing my dad Marrero Project. Mm-hmm. I remember going over there because my mom was sending me over there crazy because as a kid I was walking across the highway all the way to Marrero Project. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So by myself. Well, my brother would walk with me to a certain point, But once we get to the project, he turns around and I
like,
go about hey,
going that
hey, little
jungle
bro,
by yourself.
yeah, hey, little bro, do your thing.
You go see your daddy. My
Yeah,
daddy.
like do your thing, little bro. Right,
Yeah.
right. It's crazy because now that I think about it, like, nigga, how scary were you? Like, you couldn't come with your brother, but I was never scared because I was excited to go see my dad.
Yeah, you
this
like,
time.
I'm going to see my daddy.
Yeah, so I walk and going through the Memorial Project, everybody knew who I was, right? Because I looked like my dad.
Yeah.
Right, identical split twin of my dad. Right, not now because you don't have no hair.
Yeah.
But I get there, and my dad had on so many gold chains. He looked like Mr. T.
Yeah.
Right, so many gold chains, rings, and stuff. And I was like, nigga, you ain't getting this for no mechanic work.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But I didn't know what else he could do.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, okay, I guess. You know, I always wanted them.
Yeah.
My mom asked me to get a couple of them from him. Right? For whatever reason, she wanted it. But
Probably go pawn.
yeah, probably pawn it. I mean, I went through a lot with her pawning out stuff like
I
waking
bet.
up for Christmas.
She's like,
and
go get that.
go get that. And matter of fact, during that time, that's when she taught me jewelry.
Yeah.
My mom taught me jewelry. She showed me how to read the carats on gold, on chains and stuff, you know, to make sure that it's real or not. She taught me this very,
You
very
can read my
young.
bracelet.
Yeah, I can.
Is it real?
Let's see. You have to take it off.
Okay.
You have to take it off. I have to look under
It was a gift, y'all.
You want to do this on camera?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Like when they be doing the diamond.
The diamond
thing.
tester, yeah. It's kind of dark in here, but I try my best to see.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to see it or not.
Let's see if it's real or not, y'all.
Yeah, y'all. Let's see. Let's put some light on this thing.
Eh.
You have a small engraving on it. Let's see.
Is the jury fake or is the jury real?
Oh, you crazy girl. Give me some light on this thing.
Is the jury fake or is the jury real?
All right. So this was a gift, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the gift for this chain, when it comes to this gift, this is real. This is 10K.
Period.
Yeah, 10K.
Okay. Period.
When
I
it
thought it
comes,
was 14. I'll do 16.
yeah. When it comes to your gift,
14.
you can probably see it better than me.
Yeah, I think it's 14.
All right. When it comes to your gift, it is real.
Period. Nah.
Whoever gift you that chain, kudos to that man. Kudos to that man.
Welcome.
I also learned that when you get gold jewelry, it's not complete gold.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, it's also copper and zinc inside of it also. Yeah.
Okay.
But so like I said, back to that point of view,
And also it says jail will separate 2.3 million mothers from their children this year. I think that was 2023.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say when this research was, they already scoped this out in 2024.
CNN. No, I think honestly, when you look up statistics, because I think how long it might take them to do the research and verify and stuff. It'll never
It's
really
always
be,
a year behind, or you 2
yeah.
years behind. Yeah, because it takes so long to gather that data.
Yeah, because I'm
that
looking,
data.
I'm like 2023, trying to find most recent.
Most
but
recent.
Yeah, it'd be like 2022 or something like.
Yeah, it happens like that because that's how research works.
Yeah.
It takes time for it to finally come together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let us know what you're working on, how people could just stay in tune with you.
Oh,
If you want to be in tune with.
yeah, sure. I would say you can go see me on my Instagram, which is _facts_over_feelings. Which in this segment, like I said, it's a lot of times that your feelings got to tap out of certain things so you can move forward, be strong. I also do mixing and engineering for music and also video audio. So if you ever need any kind of touch up on your videos, podcasts, or any type of audio or video, contact me.
He'll
on
probably
my
be
Instagram.
ready to hire over here.
Yeah. Right now I'm building my computer from scratch, so I'm able to take up on more clients this year. That's my goal.
Yeah.
you know. And then also I be gaming.
Yeah, I would say, what's up with the Twitch?
Yeah, I'm gonna relaunch it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time around, I know a lot more than what I know last year, and I know how to actually get my stuff back to its peaking point.
Yeah.
Right. So
And you build your own little game lands, right?
yeah. I want to build which I'm going to. I just gotta put the budget together for it.
Yeah.
I want to make an open world game. I'm not sure what type of open world game, but I want to make an open world game, and also role play. Like, people don't understand how big role play could be.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I could put this on camera, because if I put this on camera, then it can't be stolen from this point. So if anybody knows, right, anybody knows GTA. So GTA is supposed to be coming out with a new one, and they teaming up with this company that does the role play, which is going to be amazing if they actually incorporate that into the system, where you actually play a role on one server, right? So I know I made a server, and the way that I had mine put together was, you have your police department, you have your crime, you have everything that you would have in the real world, right? But you come in the system by paying for our type of cryptocurrency, and you use that cryptocurrency within the game itself, right? So it can start generating over and over and over and rise up. So not only would you earn money in this world, but that money would build, so everybody could become rich.
Okay.
Yeah,
because we use Dogecoin.
No,
No.
not to bring these stocks go down. Nah, but no, I would create its own coin for its own world.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because I was also thinking about implementing OnlyFans into the game.
What?
Right. So like, you walk into that store and you use the QR code on your phone to scan for people's OnlyFans, right? Which would make that open world into our reality.
Do they get like a little preview? It's like,
yeah, of course, of course. So, any woman out there that has OnlyFans that want to
hey,
submit it,
comment it down below.
Yeah, I could put you inside the virtual world, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a new way to market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So reach out, if y'all.
Yeah. Drop me your name. DM me.
Send a picture. Preview.
Yeah, a preview. A free week. A free day of your OnlyFans. I just joking.
Well, thank you, Famous.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you for taking your time out. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below.
Yes.
And stay tuned for a new episode every week.
Every week.
Every week. Peace.